Good morning. It is Friday the 15th of February. Hi to you on Instagram, and good morning to you on Facebook. Tanj here, peak performance specialist for real estate and property professionals that just really want to grow themselves, their people and their business in the least amount of time. This is our third episode, and Kate Ashton, you are first cab off the rank. Good morning, Kate. Great to have you here. Love Magnetic is in the house. Hello, little Love Magnetic. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. Happy Valentine's Day for you. I don't typically celebrate Valentine's Day. I think a lot of those days are really created from Hallmark cards years ago. However, we did go out for pizza and wine last night, which was pretty nice. So I think every day is a day to celebrate love for yourself, others, and the world. That's my humble opinion. But whatever you chose to do yesterday for Valentine's Day, I hope you had a beautiful one. So Rapid Fire Friday is our weekly reflection on all the coaching insights that I've had from my one-on-one coaching clients for the week, and just some rapid fire tips, because I know many of you are experiencing the same challenges and some of you may not have the resources to have a one-on-one coach. So I'd love you to be able to get the benefits of the insights. So I'm going to start with, actually, I want to mention a couple of birthdays today for this week. So Maria Findikakis, the director for eView Group, turned 50, and she's in her homeland of Greece. Hola, Maria, happy birthday to you. Grant, g'day, Grant, great to have you here. Troy, wonderful to have you here. And Amanda Jane Gould, she also had a birthday. So Amanda, happy birthday to you, my love. All right, let's get into it. As you're watching this, if you're watching live, do me a favor. Type in live so I know you're live. If you're watching the record of this, please type in record so I know when you're watching. So it's just good for me to see when you're connecting into the content. Okay, here's the theme for this week. I've loved actually seeing leaders take the coaching and seeing the results. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I had two beautiful directors that I'm coaching had 0 listings, and their feeling about themselves and their business, in their words, pardon my French, was they were shit scared. They were actually really shit scared about their future. If you've been there, or you might be there now, or you know someone that's there, give me a thumbs up. Many of you are in that reality. Historical data really shows that 50% of real estate businesses in Australia and New Zealand certainly will just not make any money this year, and a lot of them won't be in business. That's just it's horrific to me, and it doesn't actually have to be that way. So the good news is, those particular clients, within one session, changing their mindset and flipping things around, g'day Jackie, have now got 6 listings when they had none. And it thrills me because it's given them a fuel injection into what's possible. So going from 0 to 6 listings in a matter of a week, and just completely turning their life around. So I'm very, very grateful that those particular clients just taking the coaching. They'll remain nameless, but they're taking the coaching, implementing the actions, and seeing the results, because they've now got some mojo and they're feeling good about themselves, which is great. So congratulations if you're watching for that result. I'm very, very proud of you. All right. Let's talk about this theme of effective communication. A big theme in the coaching this week was many leaders are feeling frustrated that they're communicating things to their people and their people aren't doing what they need them to do or responding, and basically things aren't getting done. So what tends to happen when that occurs for leaders is, well, let me ask you, has that ever happened to you? Give me a thumbs up or an emoji or a smiley face. Have you ever communicated something to your people, your kids, your partner? You've made requests and the result hasn't produced. Let me know if that's happened to you. Morning, Wayne. Great to see you here too. Give me a thumbs up if that's ever happened. I want to give you an amazing strategy, a few thumbs up, to let you know how to completely flip that on its head. A lot of leaders, particularly when they're frustrated at their people for not producing the results that they desire, they point the finger at their people that they're not listening, they're ineffective, they're not doing what they should be doing. G'day, Molly. Molly's joining. And here is the deal. As a leader, if you're making requests, if you're sharing some things that you need done and it's not happening, I invite you to consider that your communication is actually ineffective, meaning it's not producing the result that you desire. And there's a couple of ingredients to make sure that what you request actually manifests. And they are, number one, let them know what you want. So make the request of the action that you want. So let's pretend maybe there's a weekly accountability report for sales agents to log in their calls, connects, appraisals, listings, sales, okay? So what you want them to do is complete the report. This is the most important one. You need to let them know why they need to complete the report, because if people don't understand why, they won't prioritize it. So why do you want that task done? Let them know clearly why. Good morning, Tass. When do you want it done? Make it clear. When do you want it done? The day and the time. How do you want it done? Do you want it printed and on your desk? Do you want the report emailed to you? Do you want it saved on a Google Drive? Good morning. Be really clear. And then gain agreement. So when you make the request, say to them, do you agree to complete that task when I've asked you to do it and how I've asked you to do it? Gain agreement. Most people skip over that step. And then the final step is ask, is there any reason why you may not be able to get that done? If you follow that process, every time you make a request of your people, your communication is more likely to be effective. The results are more likely to get done. You'll also help your people understand why you're making the requests. And you're also paying them the respect of saying, hey, is there any reason that you can see that this won't get done? Which really opens up a space for personal accountability. So those tips are why, and feel free to write this down, what you need done, why you need it done, how you want it done, when you want it done by, gain agreement, ask them, do you agree to get that task done? And is there any reason that you can foresee you won't get it done? That lays a really solid foundation and has integrity in your request. Communication is a lot like a chair. Good morning, Sam. Great to have you here. Communication is a lot like a chair. If a chair is designed to have 4 legs, then you can sit on it solid and it has integrity. Your communication is much like that. If your communication has got a wobbly leg or 1 leg missing and you've only got 3 pillars and you're making requests and people sit on it, it's likely to fall apart, right? So leaders, please make sure you're making your communication requests really clear, gaining agreement and checking in if there's any reason they won't be able to do it. Number 2, a big theme that came out of my coaching this week was many people are frustrated because they feel micromanaged. It is one of the biggest reasons that people leave a manager or a leader or a team or an office. If you're micromanaging your people, what do you think that actually says to them? Type it in. If you've been micromanaged, what does that say to you? For a lot of people, it makes them feel like they're not trusted. And if you don't feel trusted in your role, you're just going to feel like a child, and you're going to get that child-parent, whole dynamic going on, which is just not empowering. So have you ever been micromanaged, and have you noticed yourself ever micromanaging? Don't do it. It keeps your people small. The best thing to do is make sure your people have real clarity. Good morning, Mama Stone. Your people have real clarity in your requests that you're making. They have all the resources available to do the tasks that you're asking them to do really well, and what's critical is that they feel that you trust them to do the task. So don't micromanage people. It'll keep them small. Raise your people up with praise. Thanks, Mama. Raise your people up with praise. Listen, especially in these changing and challenging markets where people are feeling insecure and vulnerable and concerned and all wobbly, a lot of leaders, they just, especially the old school principles, they just want their people to show up, and just getting paid is enough. Just show up and get paid, and that's enough. Good morning, Duke. G'day, all the way from New York City. And that's not enough. Now, as a leader, you want to make sure that your people are really productive and performing so you get maximum return on investment. But the best way that you can do that is don't just think, well, look, you got a job, you get paid, that's all there is to it. People want to feel valued and appreciated. And you've probably heard me say this before if you've tuned in. There are 5 languages of love and appreciation. There is a free quiz that you can do and you can get your people to do, which is based on the book by Dr. Gary Chapman. It's the 5 love languages, and consider that you and your people have a predominant language that they like to be recognized by or feel valued by. And they are words of affirmation, physical touch and affection, within reason in the workplace, quality time, acts of service, and tangible gifts. Now, if you don't know which language your individual people feel valued and appreciated in, then you'll be talking in your language, and it's kind of the whole Mars and Venus thing. So if you want to know what your predominant love language is, like the way you feel loved and valued, and you'd like to understand your team, your people, your kids, or your partner, go on to the 5 Love Languages website, and there is a free quiz that you can do. You just simply answer the questions and you'll get an insight. I invite all leaders to have their teams do that same quiz so you can have an understanding, and then you can just reverse engineer your acknowledgement according to their predominant love language. That praise will raise them up to be more effective and productive. Typically, the most popular one is words of affirmation, which costs nothing. So have you read the book? Good morning, Paula. Have you read the book? Are you familiar with it? Do you know what your predominant love language is? If so, type it in. I'd love to know. Mine is acts of service. I really love it when things are done for me, especially around the house. So when I finish work, I don't have to deal with vacuuming and the dishes and all of that. I can just be present with my family. So which one is yours? I'm keen to know. Okay, in business and life, there are 2 things. It's really, really simple. You either have reasons or results. Now, when you're leading your people, who have we got here? I don't know how to say that. Wow. Anmoland Gurdev. Hello, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right, but welcome to the conversation of Rapid Fire Friday. In business and life, you can have reasons or results, and particularly at a leadership level when you're coaching your people. Thank you for the hands up. When you're coaching your people, listen for whether there's a result, like did they produce a result, or do they have reasons why they haven't produced the result. Now, as a leader or as a parent, when you're listening for what the reasons are, typically they will be resource orientated. They're going to be like, I don't have time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hey Tara, great to have you here. Which one do you find yourself using more? Is your reason why you're not producing greater results time? Is yours that you really don't have the energy? Or are you feeling stuck financially and you just don't have the finances? Type it in. Is it time, money, or energy? I'd love to know. Now, as a leader, when you're listening to your people and the reasons they're giving you, here's my invitation to help them get empowered and back into action. Whatever resource, time, money, energy, whatever it is that they're telling you, just ask them how, time and energy, thank you. Just ask them, if you were being more resourceful with your time, what could you do? If you were more resourceful with the money you have, what could you do? And how can you be more resourceful? Because your subconscious believes everything you're saying. So if you just say, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, I don't have enough money, then you have no access to effective problem solving. But if you start asking yourself an open question like, if I was being more resourceful with the time that I do have, what could I do? Or what could I stop doing to free up my time? If I was more resourceful with the money I have, what could I do or stop doing? And if I was more resourceful with my energy, what would I do? Does that make sense to you? Is what I'm saying making sense? Give me a thumbs up, a smiley face, love hearts, whatever. Is this making sense? And are you learning something new? I really hope so. So ask, how can you be more resourceful? Ask yourself and ask your people. This one's critical. One of my clients this week, when they were working for a franchise, and they wanted to go out and create their own boutique agency, which they did. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, everyone on Facebook, for the thumbs up. It means a lot that this content's making a difference. So they were working for a franchise. They always had a dream of opening their own boutique agency. I was able to help them actually plan that, do it, and their goal was they wanted to be number one in their area. Within 12 months, they became number one in their area. So if you're watching, mwah, 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 congratulations, such a great result. And now for 18 months, they've been number one. But here's what's happening. So they've achieved their goal and they're starting to kind of feel the grind, and they're performing well. Their listings and sales are through the roof. However, they're just not feeling the mojo anymore. And what we established this week was they don't have a compelling future. There's nothing exciting in their future that's lighting them up, because they've achieved their goal and they did it within 12 months of starting their business. So if you're feeling a little bit lackluster, if you're feeling like you're just plateaued, ask yourself, do I have a compelling future that I'm living into? Because it is the future that you're living into that governs who you are in the present. If you've got a game going on, if there's something exciting you're working on, if there's something to look forward to, it inspires you. If you achieve a goal and you don't set a new one, you will plateau. So this particular dynamic duo, two directors of a beautiful brand, we created a new and very exciting game that slightly scared them. So now they are just fully on fire and excited. So have a goal and have a compelling future, A, and B, celebrate the wins. I just asked them to put the tools down, take their team out for lunch, and celebrate the fact that 12 months into their new business, they won their game of being number one in the area, competitive area, and they've maintained that. And now they're at 18 months. If you don't stop and smell the roses of your own creation, you just get a little stale and bored. Does that make sense? So celebrate the wins and have a compelling future to live into, because it'll inspire you to do things differently. 2 more to go. Well, I've actually covered one, create a compelling future. That's really critical. And what does that mean? Just to have a vision or a game. I did another session like this with a great director in South Australia today with a booming business, and they're just about to kind of go off to a whole other stratosphere. So create something that excites you. Finally, clarity breeds trust. As a coach, particularly for real estate leaders, there's a lot of leaders that have no idea where their financials are at, and that's causing an incredible amount of unconscious stress. Congratulations to those of you that I know are watching now that did the work to get clear on your P&Ls, that did the work to get clear on your break-even point, because now you know where you stand. And I've also know that those of you who are watching, or if you haven't done this yourself, I invite you to do it. If you're a leader or you're just running your own business, get your P&L clear and start looking at your expenses lines and just see where you can shave some money. Where do you need to consolidate debt so you're not paying 4 different interest rates? Do you need to find new suppliers to get all of your photocopying stationery needs? Do you really need to have those many cars or those many vehicles at this time when sales are slower? Try and reduce certainly your variable expenses and have a look at your fixed expenses. So get clear. I can't stress this enough. It's just going to help you feel confident and powerful. Get clear on what your profit and loss is, what your gross profit percentage is, and what your monthly break-even point is for your business or your own personal budget and expenses, and stick to it. And that will have you empowered, that will have you confident, and that will have your fight, flight, or flee subconscious, structure not running the show, so you're not super anxious and concerned. So that's my tips for Rapid Fire Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Which one did you like the most? Was it how to ensure your communication is effective, the insight that micromanagement keeps your people small, how to raise your people up with praise and speak in a language that really resonates with them? I've got another one. I'll save it for next week. This was a really good one. Yeah, if you're into manifesting and the law between your words, thoughts, actions, and results, I might actually do that for Mindset Mastery Monday. Next Monday. Reasons or results, there's only 2. Check in with yourself. You're telling yourself a lot of reasons why you don't have the results. Typically it's a resource that you're blaming. Time to get more resourceful with that resource. Celebrate the wins. Is this just a nice little reminder for you to celebrate the wins? Create a compelling future for yourself, or get clear, because that breeds confidence. Which one was the most useful for you today? Type it in. I'd love to know. And if you have a friend that you think would really benefit from this content, please tag them. It's free. There's no set of steak knives. It's just me sharing some insights and quick rapid fire tips to hopefully give you something, even one thing small, that if you apply it will make a huge difference to your results. I wish you much love. I wish you much success. And again, in the words of Maya Angelou, just remember, Saturday is show day. So here in Australia, tomorrow is show day. So please remember, as you're out there in people's homes, as you're out there connecting with new buyers, people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Go and make people feel amazing today, tomorrow, and every day, and watch what happens to your life and also your business. So I hope you found that useful. Much, much love. Oh, Louise Lupton. Hey, nice to see you here. And Joe Mooney, create a compelling future. Please do that. Please do that. All right, I'm off to go and be of service and have a breakfast date with my husband. That's what we do on a Friday. Make sure, by the way, as you're working through your life, that you pepper in time for joy, pepper in time for a massage, a facial, a walk in the park, play golf, you know, a beer with mates, wine with friends, green tea, whatever, yoga. Do things in the week that make you feel good. It's critical. It's your life. Have a fun one. All right. Enough from me. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of Rapid Fire Friday. Bye to you here on Instagram. Thanks for playing. And also, ciao to our friends on Facebook. Mwah! Much love. Really appreciate your company. See you soon.